Hi there, welcome to you. Thank you for watching my views in news. Breaking news for you. Are Ethiopian federal forces going to enter Tigray in large numbers? Has Tigray military agreed to the deployment of Ethiopian National Defense Force on Tigray-Eritrea border and in main cities in a northern Tigray towards Eritrean border? What happened at the meeting between Tadesse Varade and PM Abiy? Meeting was held on Saturday. I did a video on that a few hours ago. Now I have details for you of this meeting. Secondly, Hamati Hamdan Dagalo, RSF chief, spoke about the war in Sudan, an important announcement by Hamdan Dagalo. Before these two news stories, an announcement after 2 hours, I'll be back with this week's last live chat. Three live chats a week, last live chat tonight. Hopefully, you will join me with your questions and comments. Firstly, Sudan viewers, Hamdan Dagalo, RSF chief, released a message today in connection with Eid al-Fitr. Muslims in Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, uh, Djibouti, Middle Eastern countries, they celebrated Eid al-Fitr today. And I had a video of I shared with you a statement of ONLF. It was about Eid, but it's basically a political message. Hamdan Dagalo also issued a message in connection with Eid, but a purely policy statement by the Rapid Support Force chief today. RSF has suffered serious losses in recent months. It has withdrawn from Khartoum. Is RSF going to lose? Will it return to Khartoum? Hamdan Dagalo firstly confirmed that Rapid Support Forces have withdrawn from Khartoum. He, he claimed that it was a strategic decision by the RSF to withdraw from Khartoum. But RSF will return to Khartoum, firstly. Secondly, Hamdan Dagalo said, war is not over, rather, war is starting. He said no negotiations with the military led by Abdul Fattah al-Burhan. RSF definitely under pressure, losing ground. Its main ally, UAE, under international pressure, as a case filed by Sudanese government against UAE is being heard at an international court. Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Iran, Egypt, several countries supporting Sudanese military. And Sudan military could make a push towards Darfur, the stronghold of RSF. I think RSF will try to defend its stronghold, then it might decides to march again towards Khartoum. But so far, Al Burhan has an edge. Hamdan Dagalo says war is not over, war is starting. We'll fight until we retake Khartoum and entire Sudan. Now, West Tigray, where it seemed that federal forces could be deployed to the region. On Saturday, Tadesse, where the Tigray military chief held a meeting with the Ethiopian Prime Minister. I have been saying that the main concern of the federal government of Ethiopia is that it wants to ensure DDR in Tigray. It wants guarantees, it wants assurances from new Tigray leadership that DDR will be implemented soon. Federal government does not want to see a standing army of 300,000 soldiers. It wants dismantlement of this huge army as soon as possible. Getachew led Tigray administration could not speed up the process of DDR. Now, federal government wants to dismantle Tigray defense force. Firstly, secondly, well, the government is concerned about links between TPLF and Eritrea, between Tigray military and Eritrean government. The federal government wants to cut off these links. These are two main concerns of the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, PM Abiy's government. When Tadesse Verde met with the Ethiopian PM yesterday, no statement was issued. It is being said that maybe Abiy won't appoint Verde as the new president, though TPLF wants Verde to be the new president. And TPLF a few weeks ago met with PM Abiy and requested the appointment of Tadesse Verde. PM Abiy did not appoint him. Rather, he sought public recommendations about the new president's appointment. At yesterday's meeting, reportedly, Ethiopian Prime Minister highlighted 2 points, 2 concerns of the federal government with Tadesse Verde. Firstly, as I said, DDR. Federal government of Ethiopia wants speedy disarmament, demobilization, reintegration of Tigray fighters. Secondly, PM Abiy asked Tadesse Verde that federal government wants to deploy federal forces, Ethiopian National Defense Force, federal police to Tigray border and to the main cities in northern Tigray. PM Abiy suggested that ENDF should be deployed to Adegrat, to Aksum, Shere, Adwa, Sheraro, all the main cities which are towards Eritrean border and on border as well, on the actual border where there is deployment of Eritrean military. Federal government wants to cut off links between Eritrean government and TPLF, Eritrean government and Tigray military. And federal government and some other anti-TPLF groups have been accusing that huge quantities of gold are being smuggled out of Tigray to Eritrea. The federal government wants to ensure that nothing is smuggled out of Tigray to Eritrea. And all the contacts between TPLF and Eritrea are cut off. That is why the Prime Minister of Ethiopia asked Tadesse Verde that ENDF's deployment should be facilitated in those cities which I mentioned. Tadesse Verde agreed in principle because he cannot say no. Ethiopian federal forces can be deployed to any part of Ethiopia. Tigray is part of Ethiopia. Tigray cannot say no. He returned to Mekelle. We don't know if he will hold discussions with his his organization, military, with TPLF, but in principle, he agreed in Mekelle, in Addis Ababa on Saturday, that yes, federal forces can be deployed to Tigray, even to Mekelle, capital city. Nothing wrong with that. DDR, he said, yes, DDR should be implemented, but phased DDR in phases. Soldiers can be disarmed, that is in accordance with Pretoria, but other issues should also be solved simultaneously, like the status of Humera Volkai, Sagade, like the return of IDPs, etc. This is what happened. Now, federal government has put its forces on alert, telling the forces to be ready to be deployed to Tigray. If a green light is given tomorrow or on Tuesday, we could see entry of Ethiopian National Defense Force in Tigray in large numbers. There is already deployment of ENDF in Tigray, but not large-scale deployment. Now, federal government wants large-scale deployment. Now, it's not clear how Tigray military TPLF will see this suggestion by the federal government of Ethiopia to deploy federal forces to Tigray border. If TPLF and Tigray military see it as a tactic, as a move to put Tigray under siege, they might not agree to it. but they cannot say no to it either because federal forces have every right to be deployed to Tigray. So it's a very interesting situation. Uh, Even if federal forces deployed to Adegarat, Adwashar, Exxon, they won't be, I think, in a position to completely cut off the links between Tigray narrative and TPLF narrative. You cannot deploy tens of thousands of soldiers there, and Tigray has its own forces as well. Still, and anytime these ENDF soldiers can be overpowered, outnumbered by Tigray fighters. So maybe TPLF and Tigray military will agree to the deployment of ENDF to Tigray Eritrea border. We'll see tomorrow. On Monday and Tuesday, will Tigray give the green light to federal government to deploy forces or not? Will Varade be the new president or someone else? No decision made so far. If Varade complies with the instructions of the federal government of Ethiopia, maybe Varade could be appointed, but not clear. Nothing clear so far. Thanks for watching.